Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Tuesday, January 12th, 2016. Traders, great to be with you. Bright blue sunny skies, white sandy beaches, nice cool breeze this morning. Right now it's currently 34 hours on Wall Street. Traders is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders got some charts to talk about, a little bit of news to talk about, and a little bit of price action to talk about. Got some interesting charts today. So I think the key word for today is going to be patience. We need price to come back to us, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I am your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will tell you that I do trade this during the Asia session. So if you're looking at this at the opening of London, it's probably about a 10 candle difference. As you know, these are 30-minute charts. For those of you who are new, the way I trade is I trade using fundamentals. I don't trade the numbers of fundamentals. However, I'm always listening to fundamentals. You need to know what's going on around the world, as we are macro traders. Okay, we need to know everything that's happening that can affect our trades. However, I would trade fundamentals probably about 40 minutes after the event comes out. I'm a technician. I love looking at candlesticks. I love looking at price action and price structure, support, resistance. And I do use two different instruments depending on, I trade two instruments and I use two different indicators. One is harmonics, and that is because I use Fibonacci on almost everything. And why not use harmonics, as that is all calculated, like the deep crab and the butterfly and the bat. It's all calculated off of Fibonacci levels. And on another instrument, I use Ichimoku clouds. I really enjoy using Ichimoku clouds, as that whole indicator is all leading indicators except for one line, which is lagging 26 periods behind. All right, let's get the legal stuff out of the way. Let's get started. Enough about me. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head on over to news and commentary. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. Earlier today, we did have, out of the JPY, we had current account. That came in bad. That came in at 1.42 when they expected 1.52. During the London session today, we do have great British pound. The UK has manufacturing production that is high impact. Also, we have BOJ Governor Kuroda speaking today, just at about London lunch. And then in the US session, we have BOE Governor Carney speaking today. And that will wrap up our calendar. Doesn't look like there's anything in the US session. Early in tomorrow's Asia session, we do have trade balance out of China. And of course, as you know, they are not going to tell you what time they're giving those numbers out. So that is tentative. However, that's what's going on with our economic calendar. So we do have some movement today as far as catalysts to move us around, but pretty light day in the markets. Let's take a look at what the indices did yesterday. The Dow 30 is up 0.32%. The S&P 500 was up just barely at 0.09%. And the NASDAQ was negative 0.12%. The small cap 2000 was negative 0.53%. All right, let's take a look. The DAX is negative 0.25%. The FTSE 100 is negative 0.69%. The CAC 40 out of Paris is negative 0.49%. And the Eurostoxx 50 is positive 0.15%. All right, let's head on over to Asia, see what's going on. Asia is completely open at this time. So the Nikkei 225 is currently negative 1.64%, with the S&P ASX 200 out of Australia. Now, that's been open a couple of hours, and they are positive 0.51%. The China 850 out of Shanghai is positive 0.50%. And the Hang Seng is positive 0.41%, with the Kospi Seoul being positive 0.35%. So, have some good numbers out of our indices today. All right, as far as commentary goes today, I think we have to we're going to take a look at the charts. I think the key for today is patience. We're going to see on the charts today where we're waiting for a lot of pullbacks. We need pullbacks. Pullbacks are going to be very vital today. So that is what's going on as far as that's going. So patience is going to be the big play today. I think we're going to have a good trading day. There's no reason not to. I think everybody's back from the holidays. I think we're in full steam. I think this week is definitely full steam ahead and away we go. So, trade your plan and plan your trade, right? Well, plan your trade and trade your plan. And stay with the trend. That's the best thing I can say is just stay with the trend. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Still in a downward motion. Not a lot of price action yesterday. Remember, these are only 30-minute charts. However, if you take a look, I don't really like where price is right now. This is like sort of support because of the 200 exponential moving average and the S3 pivot. I really want this to come all the way back up to the daily pivot at 1.0922, and we'll take it all the way back down to 1.0844, and we'll take that trade to the downside. And this is, again, when I'm talking about patience today. We're going to need patience. We're going to have to wait for price to come all the way back up to that daily pivot point, and then we're going to have to fight all this coming all the way back down again. So it's just going to take patience. It could be the end of New York or New York lunch, actually, before this trade works out. I do say the trade is going to work out. It's just a matter of time and when is it going to happen. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the pound. Pound is sloppy. This is just an ugly, ugly, ugly chart. It has been. The pound is bearish. It's very weak. But you can see where price action has basically been sideways. I was not in the New York session. I was out. Dinner with friends yesterday. I saw there was no data coming out, so I wasn't going to hang around. So I didn't play with New York yesterday. I will be in New York today. And so if you take a look at this chart, what are you going to do here? Well, the thing to do is you can do a trend line break here, get a retest, and then we'll enter it at 1.4543, and we'll get out at 1.4490. So that's a good 60 pip trade. The other option is, why don't you wait for this to come back up to the 200 exponential moving average and then sell it from there? That's a very good possibility if price action does that. Now, the Great British Pound US dollar does not like to give us pullbacks. It just likes to do its thing. So I would go more with the trend line break trade than the pullback to the 200 exponential moving average. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Some price action, not a lot. Nothing in Asia, really. They did have that bad data come out. But, hasn't shown that's reflected. I mean, one red candle because of that data. But, nothing I jump on here. There's nothing that I like, I have to be honest with you. Basically, I'm just looking for the bearish candle formation. We'll sell it. We are now currently at 0.7001. And, if we can get a bearish candlestick and get it confirmed, whether a higher or lower time frame, and we'll take it down to 0.6933, which is support. And we'll take it from there. We'll just have to watch the Aussie. I think the Great British Pound data coming out in the London session will probably help us get this moving a little bit, and we'll get some price action. All right, let's take a look at another one of my favorites, and this, of course, is the Euro Aussie. This didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do yesterday. However, it did continue to come down, and if you were patient and it took you into New York, the trade actually worked. The trade missed our target by about, I think it was like 12 pips. Okay, so the trade actually worked yesterday, but it was ugly. It was very hard to, if you were sitting in front of a computer watching that trade, it was really, really hard. I mean, the trade that yesterday was put that trade on, turn your computer off and go away for the day, come back to it the next day and see if you made profit or not. It was a really ugly trade. I'm looking for a very aggressive trade today on this. I'm looking for this to come all the way back up to the R1 at 1.5730, and I'll take it all the way down to the 200 exponential moving average, which is also the S1 support one pivot at 1.5404. Or I would say, I mean, this is over 200 pips, okay? So we have some pips that we can make here, but if you look left to the chart, folks, there's a lot of price action you're going to fight through going in either direction. So just be aware of that. I do expect some sort of a bounce at this daily pivot. Now, if you get an entry at the daily pivot, the thing you need to realize is you need to put a very intelligent stop if you're going to enter that trade. And you all know what I mean by an intelligent stop. Okay, let me tell you, very tight stop. You don't want to give this much rope, 10, 12 pips. That's it. And it's either going to work or it's not going to work. Remember, this pair is bearish. This is not a bullish pair. And for this to pull back, it's going to take some work. I do think it can happen, and it's a lot of pips to be made. And for those of you who took my advice yesterday and is still in this trade, you're doing very well. Just stay in it. I mean, you're in profit, and you surely break even. It's a free trade. Just let this baby ride down. If you're just thinking of entering the trade today, like myself, we're just waiting for that entry, and I am looking to enter this trade today. All right, let's take a look at the euro-yen. Euro-yen, again, is still very bearish, folks. We're in a great spot for the trade. We're in a daily pivot, and the 200 exponential moving average, which is resistance. I just wanted to break this trend line, give us a retest, and we'll get in here about 127.67. And I put a support line on the bottom of the chart. That's just above the S2 pivot, and it's at 126.86. And we'll just take that down. Nice, simple trade. This is a really simple trade. We need a bearish candlestick formation and get below that trend line, and away we go. Folks, that's a 3-point trend line. It's a valid trend line. So let's just sell this bad boy off, and let's just stay with the trend. Now, remember what I talked about? Well, I talked about it a couple of times, but I talked about that when they start talking, watch out. And who's talking today? Kuroda. All right, they don't like the yen strong, and it's too strong for them. And they're going to do something about it. And they're not going to tell you when, and they're not going to tell you what day, and they're not going to tell you what they're going to do. They're just going to do it. So they're going to do an intervention eventually. And remember what I said, when Kuroda and Abbey start talking on a daily basis, be careful in your yen trades. Get to break even as soon as possible. Intelligently. Okay? All right. What happened to my New Zealand? What happened to my New Zealand dollar? Half my chart's gone. All right, this is the New Zealand dollar. Folks, we're looking for this. This is a pretty aggressive trade. I really want this to come all the way back up to the R1 pivot, as you can see where the arrow is to the downside. I'm going to take it down to the S1 pivot, and that's where the check mark is. The problem is the daily pivot. I do expect some problems there. We're going to get some bounces. Currently, I wouldn't touch this. This is in a horrible spot. This is really nasty price action on this chart, and just stay away from it. Don't get involved with this pair now. This is not the time to be entering or exiting this pair. This is just in a nasty position. And again, always look left to the chart. What you could do is you can fib from the top of the chart to the bottom of the chart and see where exactly you're at. And I would say you're pretty close to 38.2 fib of the complete swing of this chart. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. And you got some hurdles to jump through. So just, again, patience is the key today. All right, traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL, Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. And traders, always remember to trade smart, not hard. Traders is brought to you through FXCL. Please come visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. On behalf of myself, William Gilday, and again, our friends at FXCL, Excellence in Trading, have a great trading day, and we'll catch you in about 24 hours. Take care, traders, and have a great one. See you next time. Bye-bye.